Hi guys, I'm Joy and thank you for visiting my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a story time about the time that I went to prison. Yes, y'all, I was locked up. So yeah, I got a lot of requests on this video, so I'm going to go ahead and give y'all the story time. Okay, so as y'all can see by the title, I went to prison, and I'm going to tell y'all how it all happened right now. So I was about 18 years old, and I was with my my then boyfriend, and he was a big time drug dealer. But we were both young. We were super young. I was 18. He had just turned 18. But however, he was a real big, drug dealer. And I think he had been watched for a while. But the thing was, he wasn't 18 yet, so there wasn't really anything that they could just do about it. So I think what happened was they waited until he turned 18 to kind of bust him. And I just so happened to be there. So what happened was, it was a normal day. We were at home. I think it was a Friday. I was actually pregnant. I was 4 months pregnant, I think. Yeah, I was like four or 5 months pregnant. Yeah, and so we were in the bed sleeping, and one of his friends had came and knocked on the door. And y'all, I just couldn't stand his friends because they always wanted to be around. You know, when you're young, your friends want to hang with you, but I'm like, they're always trying to steal you from me, and I just want you to be with me, and I want you to myself. So his friend had came and knocked on the door, and I peeked out of the window, and I seen it was him, and I'm like, oh no, like I'm not gonna answer it. So a few minutes after that, somebody else had kind of creeped up to the window. I thought it was his friend trying to see if we were in there, but I think it was actually a cop, like an undercover, trying to see if we were in there. So I want to say a few minutes after that, I just heard like a bang, 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 and they were coming in and like get on the ground, and they had their big old guns out, whatever. And I'm like 18, I'm young. And so I'm like, what's going on? What are y'all doing in my house? And so they're like, get on the ground. And I'm like, I'm not getting on the ground, I'm pregnant. And so they're like, okay, they just, move me to the side. They really weren't worried about me like that. They were really focused on him. So they throw him on the ground and everything. And I'm like, wait, don't hurt him, okay, so y'all know off of, what movie was that? Hustle and Flow, whenever they took DJ and they were like, hitting him against the police car and all that. And what was her name? Y'all know her name. She was like, don't hit him. That's kind of how I was right then. But not that bad. I wasn't, I didn't look like that or nothing, but I was, like, don't hurt him or whatever. But anyway, so they didn't care about anything I was talking about. They still threw him back and forth and up against the wall or whatever. And so, he had told them, well, I didn't even know there was anything in the house because usually, like, I really wouldn't be in the mix or whatever he had going on. But I guess that night in particular, he did bring something back. And so, that's why you guys have to be careful, like who you guys call your friends and who you guys hang with and who y'all trust, because everybody is not your friend and you cannot trust everybody. So the crazy thing is, when they came in, they went right to wherever his stuff was. I didn't even know where it was. They went right to it. And so I'm looking and I'm just like, damn, but I really wasn't scared because I had nothing to do with it. But he had told them like, hey, she doesn't know anything about it. She don't have nothing to do with it. And so they took us outside, and y'all, when I tell y'all, they interrogated me outside in the hot sun. It was like June or something like that. So it was super hot. They interrogated me outside in the hot sun. I think I had like a big t-shirt on. I didn't even have any pants on, any bottoms or anything. So they were like, you know, where does he get his stuff from? Da da da. And I'm like, I don't know. You know, I have no clue. I don't know anything. And they were like, well, they talked so bad to me. They were like, well, if you don't tell us where he got his stuff from, you know, you're gonna go to jail, you're gonna have your baby in jail and all that. And I'm just like crying, and I'm like, I don't know where he get his stuff from. So they're like, okay, take her to jail. She don't wanna cooperate, take her to jail. And I really thought they were just kind of bluffing or whatever. Y'all, they wasn't bluffing. They were not playing. And so, they got to reading me off my charges, and I'm like, I don't even know what this is. Like, I didn't even know what happened, what it was. They didn't care about none of that. So, you know, I had never been in trouble before. Like, I had never been to jail, that kind of jail or anything like that. And so, I was in school as well. So they took me to the police car, and it was a black woman. She let me call my mom. And I'm like, I'm crying. I'm like, Mom, I'm going to jail. And she's like, for what? And I'm like, well, I don't know. And so the police get to reading her off my charges, and she's like, oh my God, and you know, all this and that. So I'm like, okay, I guess I have to call you when I get downtown because they're gonna hang up the phone. So they took us downtown, and they had me in the holding tank for a while. And I think I was in the county for about a week or two, because the guy, he had bonded me out, my boyfriend then, he had bonded me out or whatever, and paid for my lawyer. So I got out, and I had a leg monitor on, y'all. I may find some pictures, and I may insert them in this video. I don't know if I want to do my stuff like that or not, but I may just for y'all, I may. But I had a big leg monitor on. I had it on for like 6 months, I think. And what else happened after that? I got out, I had my leg monitor on. I had to go to NA meetings, I think twice a week. So I was going to NA meetings, and it was just so hard, y'all. This was like one of the hardest times in my life. My ex-boyfriend, he was, I think he had got out for a little bit, but he failed a drug test. He failed a drug test and went back. And so, yeah, then he was gone for like a year and a half or something like that. But I had got out, and I, you know, was going to these meetings, and I couldn't really work like that. I had a leg monitor on. I was pregnant. It was hot. I think I was staying with my cousin right when I got out, and it was so hard, y'all. It was so hard. And I eventually ended up getting my own place, and I was, I had a drug test, like, they made me drug test like every week, along with the NA meetings or whatever. I never messed up a drug test or anything like that. You know, I made all my NA meetings. So what happened was, I was out for a short period of time with my leg monitor on, and I completed everything. I did everything that I was supposed to do. So when it came to my sentencing date, I wasn't really worried about it like that because I really hadn't did anything wrong. It wasn't my stuff in the first place, so I'm like, I'm good, you know. And Webby was coming that weekend, and y'all, this was back in the day. So I was young, you know, and I was hyped. I was like, okay, Webby's coming. Let me get my hair, my nails done. I'm gonna get me an outfit. And oh wait, let me back up a little bit. So while I had my leg monitor on, I gave birth to my son. So yeah, I went to the hospital and gave birth with a leg monitor on. I wasn't so upset because I was thankful and grateful that I wasn't in jail, you know, giving birth, because that's what the police told me. They told me I was gonna have my baby in jail, and I was like, what? So I got out. I was out for a while. I was able to get me an apartment. My college courses were getting ready to start. I was the manager at my job. So when I had got out, I got out in June, and I was going to get sentenced in December. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with the law and this kind of a thing, but you don't really just get sent to prison right away unless you're in actual county unless you're in jail. So I was basically fighting my case on the outside. Okay, y'all. Sorry, my camera keeps freaking out. So, yeah, I went to court to get sentenced the weekend that Webby was coming to town to do a concert. So, y'all, I was like, yes, let me hurry up and just go get these people out of the way, you know, so I can go see Webby and, you know, go turn up for the weekend. So, I go to court and I, you know, I'm dressed up, you know, got my hair, nails and everything done because, like I said, Webby was coming that weekend. So my grandma and my cousins, they came to court with me. I had just dropped my baby off at daycare so I can go to court. And so I get in front of the judge and my attorney had me thinking that I was going to get probation because I had never been in trouble before. Hold on, time out, let me go back again. So my attorney actually, before I get sentenced, my attorney actually calls me and he's like, I need you to come to my office so I could, you know, talk to you and let you hear something. So I'm like, okay. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm like, is you trying to set me up? Like, are the police up there? Are y'all trying to take me to jail or what? So I'm like, but I go and he lets me hear a voicemail from the DA or whatever.
I know y'all wondering what happened, so go ahead and watch part 2 of this video for the rest of the story.